See, yesterday we finished the installation. Once, or rather, while doing the installation, while the installation was going on, there are few uh, choices that we have made. Right. One is it asked us, okay, what are the kind of packages you want? I said that I want a GUI stuff. The reason I said a GUI, I want a GUI is that so that you know that okay, Linux also comes with a GUI, but probably I will never use it, or at least I never use it. I come from a background of Unix and Linux, and later into all this DevOps stuff. So if I am telling on Linux that I never used it, it means probably you also will probably never need to use the graphical stuff. But just still, just to make you comfortable, I made you install GUI. Next, it asked us, okay, what is that you want the partitions of your hard disk? There's a way how we have the C drive, D drive, and other things in Windows. Similarly, you can create partitions on Linux also. Um, it asked us, okay, what is how do you want it? I said, okay, just go with default, right? Next, it asked us, okay, do you want an internet connection or network connection? We have chosen that we need a network connection. So, what is this network connection? Is basically that it connects a network adapter to your VM so that you can talk to the other VMs. And finally, for root user, we assigned a password. And the installation begins. Once the installation starts, what it does during the installation process are those three things what we have discussed, I think, day before yesterday. Any installation, any OS, or more so specific in terms of Linux, three things will get installed on your system. It will copy a program called kernel. Okay, so this is the core Linux operating system. It will even copy a program called shell. The default shell that you get with Linux is bash. So what is a shell? Whenever you see a prompt like this, it means this is Linux, it is kernel. Okay. If, anytime anybody logs in, what your Linux system will do is it will give you either this or this based on if you log in, based on how as which user you log in. If you log in as root user, you'll be given this point. If you log in as a normal user, you'll be given this point. So what are those two things? Those are nothing but shell. So kernel will be one in Linux, but shell can be multiple. Every time you connect to a system, you will be given a new shell. And as I told you, what is a shell? Shell is just a command interpreter. What it does is when you enter your command, it checks whether it is a proper command or not. If it is a proper command, then it will pass it to the kernel, and kernel will do the rest all work on your hardware. Okay? And in fact, that is where this shell. For now, I'm telling you, it's a command interpreter. It is a command interpreter, but it comes with a lot of features where you can automate stuff. That is what we'll see in shell scripting. So now that we created the user, what we'll do is let me log in into the system and show you some commands. So for now, we are getting into the track of getting things done uh, on Linux systems, there are some commands you should know. There are hundreds of commands in Linux, but you don't probably need all that. What I'll do is maybe I'll introduce you to some 5 to 10 commands now. You keep doing that. As I keep going, you know, uh, throughout the course, I'll be doing everything on Linux systems, right? So your Linux will automatically grow up. And second thing is for a DevOps engineer, you don't really require to be super good with Linux administration stuff. You don't need to be a Linux administrator, okay? But it's good that if you have that knowledge. So with that thing and as an idea, that is where that architectural one diagram we have put it, right? One application. So what I'll make you guys do is, maybe next 2 days, I think 3 days. Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Little bit what I want to cover Linux stuff for you to get ready for Ansible. I'll do all that. After that, that application what we have given in your syllabus, that application I'll make you guys do it. Okay. And with that, I think you should be good. So we finished the installation yesterday. Let me power off my system. Powering off is all, but just double clicking your VM. Let it come up. All right, it's coming up. Okay. See now, this you want to work on this VM. You can take your mouse over here and you can click it. Okay. So you see that there is one user created on the system, Ravi. When did I create this Ravi user? You guys remember yesterday? Once the installation is done, I rebooted it and I started it again, right? Then it asked me, oh, you want to create a user, give his name and all that, right? So then I created this user. I can log in as this Ravi, or else you click this not listed. You can give username as root and password. I give it as Red Hat, so I give it Red Hat. How to do with users, I'll explain guys. For now, leave it. Today's session, just practice it as root itself. So this is your screen, and these are four panels here. Again, I'll go to the second one. Uh, so you
Actually,
can do
we got local host kind of thing. We actually once installed, we got
yeah, yeah, yeah,
local host
yeah.
login, something
Correct, correct,
Rajendra.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
Right
There is no
now.
UI. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get UI. The reason you
Yeah.
didn't get UI is during the installation. Yesterday, if you have observed, I selected an option server with UI. Do you remember that? What you have done is you didn't select that. You have went with default. So default it didn't give you UI. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now to work on this, you can do a lot of stuff. You know, you have different, just like Windows, you can go and do things from here. But what I would suggest is right click open terminal. You see that you get a prompt. Okay. Do the whole practice from here. And even if you don't get UI, take it easy, guys. We don't need it. Okay. I will at least not use any UI. Now, why is it that I'm telling guys take it easy if you don't have UI? There is a reason for that. Reason is that, see now this VM you have installed it on your desktop or your laptop or you're in front of it. You log in, you are getting the whole GUI, you are getting it, and you can work on it. But in actual scenario, what will happen is this is the VM what gets created in a data center somewhere in, let's say, if your company is in US, somewhere in some data center in US it gets created. Right? So this will not be there on your laptop. In that case, anyways, you'll not get all these graphical things until and unless you do something additional. Or even in another way, if I have to put it, when we do the installation of Linux servers, we will never we don't even install this UI GUI also. Why we don't install? I mean, at a server level, we don't install this GUI. The reason is It unnecessarily takes a lot of resources, right? And we don't need it. So when you are working on a Linux system, don't do anything graphically. Okay, always try to do things from the command line, right? So let's do some few commands. You want to know in which directory you are there, then you will enter a command called pwd. Okay, uh, what this pwd does is it tells you the present working directory, and it shows that we are in a directory called root. I want to show all my commands here itself, but I understand that font size probably is little less, right? So one now what I will do is I will every system when you install it will be given a number. That number is the identification of that system. That number is called as an IP address. The IP address that is given to this system is 10.0.2.15. You see this? You have to see it below this ENP0S3. You see INET and you see this number. I told you guys yesterday to download this tool called Putty, right? What is the IP address? We have just now seen 2.15. Just one minute. Just 1 minute, guys. Okay. Okay. Let me give it a try now again. The reason I'm doing this is to show you guys that you know let's connect from here from this putty so that you feel comfortable. What happened? Why this is not coming? You guys don't need to do anything. Okay, installation. Let me once see why my system is not coming. 10 dot valid. Okay, see one thing. Let me show you guys. Okay, this is the IP, right? Okay, whatever I typed, I'll show you guys. The IP that is given is 10.0.2.15. Sometimes when you connect, if it is not allowing you to connect, what you do is go to this setting. In the adapter, you see that there is something called NAT. Okay, you just change it to the bridge adapter. Otherwise, it will not allow you to connect from outside. So how do you do that? The first, before doing that, stop your VM. That is the reason it is not allowing me to connect. Okay? I powered off, right? Go to the settings. Maybe at the time of installation only we should have done it. Even I for him. I forgot about it. Just select this bridge adapter. What is a bridge adapter is? It is like uh, telling that it is almost like a separate system. See, the way my setup is there is I am having an local internet connection. What that guy has done is he has given me a router, uh, and internet connection is given to that. The system from where I am doing, this system has a Wi-Fi connectivity to that router, and via that it is accessing internet. The moment I put it bridge, what happens is every VM will get its own IP. Now you see what will happen. I'm just restarting it. You'll get a new IP, guys. So just change it, guys, everyone, to bridge adapter. Otherwise, you want to connect from outside, it will not allow you to connect. Okay, so same process. Let me log in again. I say not listed. I log in as root. I log in as Red Hat. Whatever practical things I wanted to show you, commands and other things, I can do it right inside this VM also. But let's get a feel as if we are doing, that kind of a feel that how how are you'll connect when you start working in on a project. You will never directly log in like this and do, right? So let me go back, open the terminal. Let me see my IP address. It is 192.168.0.6. You see it now? So what I'll do, Putty, what I told you guys to download yesterday, I'll log in, I'll connect from here, 192.168.0.6. Okay. It says, okay, you want to connect as which user? I'll say as root, and I'll give my password Red Hat. I've logged in now. So I would suggest you also practice like this. Initially, it's okay. You want to just log in and work also. It's okay. No harm in that. But generally, this is what we guys do, right? So when you start working and you want to connect to a server which is there somewhere in some um, data center, you are given the IP address of that system, and you'll connect like this, and you'll work. So some few commands. You you have a command called pwd which tells you the present working directory. So how is the file system there? Yesterday uh, or day before, I think we have done it, right? On any Unix or Linux system, the file system will be like this, right? Root, and you have a lot of directories here. Boot, etc, home, right? Where, bin, sbin, temp, and all that, right? Any moment you want to know in which directory you are there. For instance, the moment I logged in, I am in this directory. This is called the home directory of root user. Similarly, I told you for every user, a directory will be created under home, and that will be his home directory. So how to create users and all that we'll see. But anytime you want to know in which directory you are there, it is pwd. Okay. In this directory, I want to know what all files are there and different directories are there. I'll give a command called ls. ls is a command. Imagine it in terms of Windows. It is like you have a directory or you have a folder and you want to see what are the contents inside the folder, you will double click the folder and it will show up all the stuff, right? Similarly, on Linux, because we don't want to do anything graphical, from the commands, this is called ls. The way the commands are there in Unix will be, this is how it will be there. Command, argument, options. If you remember, yesterday I told you that one command will do only one job. For example, you take ls, it will do only listing of things. It will not do anything else. If I want to see what all files are there in this temp directory, then I can say ls temp directory. Where is the temp directory there? It is there under root. So this is telling the full path. So this is the command, this is the argument. And it gives me the output. But I feel that I want output in a little bit different way. I want it appear to be in a different way. Then they have given us a lot of options how you want to see your output. Those are called options. Options in Linux will be given with hyphen. For instance, one such option is -l. What this -l will do is, along with your file and directory, even the permissions and other things also it will display for us. For instance, I'll say ls -l -tmp. You see this? Previously, you see when I gave ls, how the output was like this. The moment I change it to L, it is giving me that who owns this file, what is its permissions are, what is the kind of size, and when it is created, what is the time it got created, and all that. Okay. Now, or in this directory itself, if I want to see it like this, if I don't give argument, which directory, it will take the current directory. In which directory I am there? I am there in the root directory, right? So if you see here, the way it is listing is, it is saying November 1st, then it is saying November 2nd, again it is saying November 1st, and so you see that it is actually going in an alphabetical way. But what will happen a lot of times is, we don't care in the alphabetical order, but rather important thing for us is, we want things to be displayed in a timely way. Right? What happens, you see the directories will have some hundreds of files, and when you do a lsfnl, if it starts showing things in a alphabetical way, then you have to keep on scrolling your screen like this way and see, okay, where is that file and all that. But majority of times the area of interest will be, we want to know what is the latest thing that is created, right? So there is one more option called t. What this -t does is, it shows me everything in a timely way. What is the time way? You see that November 6th, this is, and the latest one is, I'm sorry, November 2nd. You see, the latest one, you see the top, the older ones, you see it below, right? You see the time, guys? You see the time? But sometimes this also doesn't excite me, guys. The reason is, if it shows the latest one on the top, I need to scroll up again and see what is there on the top. So there is one more option called -r. What this -r does is, I'm telling it, show me it in a reverse time. Okay. Now you see the latest ones. Where is the latest ones now? In the reverse of time, we are telling it to show it to us. You see that? So what I'll do is, I will combine all this going forward, LTR. Okay. So I'm telling that, okay, whatever latest things are there, you see the latest thing, right? This is the latest thing. You see November 27. Show me in the down. So whenever you want to use ls, just use this -ltr, guys. Now don't go and keep reading about ls command. If you want to read about ls command, they'll give you hundreds of options. We don't need all that. Just type ls, means ls -ltr. Even a seasoned Unix or Linux administrator will also type this one. But if you ask me here, Ravi, how did you tell us that these are the different options there for every command? In Linux, any command you want to know what options are there, you have to say help. You see this guys now? ls-help. And what did I, and here you can read about those options. For instance, I gave -l, right? You see what the -l does? It uses a long list format. And when you want to give multiple hyphens, what you can do? You can combine all that with a single hyphen, right? So this is one first command that you should really know while working on Linux, ls-ltr. So what are the two commands you should know? First one is pwd, second one is ls-ltr. Now let's see a few things on how you can create your files and other things. See, I want to see this file, okay? The command you can use to see any file is cat. You say cat and the file name, it will show you all the whole content. So you want to see a file, you can use a command called cat, which is great. If you want to create a file, let's say I want to create a file with name Ravi. Then what I have done, I have given a greater than and cat greater than, I gave the name of the file name. So these things, there is a special significance. This is called standard output. Okay. Uh, we'll discuss more on this when I go to your shell scripting. But now what I'll do, I'll say hello. Okay. In Unix and Linux, whenever you want to save and exit, it is Control D. Now what it has done is whatever we have written it over here, all those got saved in this file called Ravi. So you can use cat even to create a file also. You can use cat even to view the file also. So I'll say cat Ravi, and you see that it's there. Now I feel that no, I want to add one more line. Let's say world. So what I'll do, if I do it again like this, if I say world, I'll do a Control D. What happened now? It has overwritten the previous file. Okay. But my intention is not to overwrite, but my intention is to append something to it. If you want to append, then you can use this 2L greater than things and say hello. Now I'll say Control D. Now you see guys, it got. So it means you can use cat command to view the files, you can use cat command to create the files. But the problem with the cat command is that if you want to really type a very big file or edit a very big file, it is not a great command. So what I'll say, forget about cat. Okay, don't even look into cat. Just you have seen it, leave it. Then what is that we will use for editing files? If you want to create a new file and other things, then what is that we'll use? Linux, you get a editor called VI. Okay, it's a text editor called VI. So whenever I tell you guys to create or update any file, you use this VI editor. For instance, I want to create a file with name VI Ravi1. You get an editor here, you should type it. Okay. So when you're guys, this one little bit, anyone who are new, you need to make your hands comfortable. Okay. Nowadays, any Linux thing you want to do it also, because I come from a kind of a Unix background and a kind of a seasoned administrator in that. I have a kind of an habit to do everything on VI. But you see nowadays a lot of people when they want to write their script and other things, they will use. There are some editors called Visual Studio Code and all that, where you can happily type it, which we'll see. But uh, my experience, what I tell you guys is you should certainly know these commands, guys, because every time you can't use those editors and all that. So make your hands comfortable. I'm not saying you have to be super good with these commands, nor being super good will be of any use, but you should certainly know how to use it. So in VI, you want to create a file, you say VI, right? So you say VI and you give name of the file Ravi1. VI, there are three modes it will work. Okay? Whenever you want to insert any data or update anything, you have to go into a mode called insert mode. Okay? How do you go to the insert mode is that you have to type escape I. It will take you into the insert mode. Okay, I'm doing it now. Escape I. You see this? I'm in insert mode. So I'll say hello world. Okay, DevOps, learning Linux, and all that. Now that I have written what I want, and I feel that no, the very first line should not be hello. It should be hello one. So if you want to edit it, that's the second mode, guys. You should go to that line, right? What you have to do is just press escape. Okay, and using your arrows, you can go wherever you want. Okay, now again here I want to let's say I don't want O. Okay, then you want to remove a single character, then what you have to do is you have to say escape X. It will remove single line. So the next mode is when you want to get into that editing mode, right? Editing mode where you want to whatever you are typed, you want to get into editing that. You again just type escape so that on the down that insert is gone. And here you need to know a few things. When if you want to delete a single character, you are going to press X. What X will do? It will delete a single character. If you want to delete a complete word, you have to say DW. It will delete a word. If you want to delete the whole line, you say DD. It will delete the whole line. Then let's say you want to copy a line and paste it somewhere. Then what you should do is you should type YY. YY means this is called anking. It means it will copy the file. You type, you press P, it will paste it. These five things you should practice, guys. No need to again do 100% of VI and all that. These five is what even I use it. I don't use anything more than that. All right. Let's see this. Only five things you practice these things. Enough. That is enough. So you want to remove the whole word. Okay. I'll say DW. Okay. Escape DW. You see that? You want to delete the whole line. I'm pressing DD. Gone. I want to copy and paste it. So I'm at this line. I want to copy it. And this is called yanking. Okay. I'll press Y two times. I want to paste it top. I'll say P. You got it? You see that? You see that, guys? I paste it one more time. It will come. All right. So X means single character. DW means whole word. DD means whole line. And you want to copy paste YY and P. Once you are done with your changes, you want to save it. You have to say escape shift colon. Next is next mode is you created a file, you updated it, now you want to save it. What you have to do is you have to press escape shift colon. What it will do? End of the file it will bring you a colon like this. You want to save and exit, you will say save means W, quit means Q. Sometimes what happens, if you want to quit it, it is not allowing you, you can even use exclamation. It means forcibly you do it. Just try it WQ. If it is giving you problem, put exclamation also. All right. Now you see WQ. I edited file. So for editing files and other things, always use VI editor. For viewing the file, cat is okay. So don't use cat for creating. If you want to view a file, you can use it. But again, there is a problem with cat. See, there is a. I'll let me show you one big file. Okay, there is a file. You know, there is some file. This etc password file. If I enter cat, what happened? It's a big file and it has scrolled, right? If I want to see what is there in the starting, again I have to scroll it like this, right? The cat command, what it does, it executes whatever file name you give, it runs it, and you will come to the end of the file. So generally, what I do and a lot of people do is we don't even use cat. Whenever you want to see any file, rather use one more command called more. What this more does is it will show your file in page by page way. So this is the first page of the file. Now I enter, it goes line by line. If I want to go to the second file completely, I'll use a space bar, it will go to the second file. So this is what I generally use it, and a lot of people use it. So it means now don't waste time doing all hundreds of commands there in Linux. Just learn two things. One is for creating VI, for creating VI, whoever are new guys, whoever already know it, today's session take it easy. From tomorrow we'll get into serious stuff. Okay. Use more command for viewing. But only one thing you should be cautious, guys. Okay, only one thing. See, if you I told you that there is in which directory you are there, root, right? I told you that there is a directory called where a lot of log files will be there. What is a log file? Log file is a file which keeps extending. So whatever activity is happening, it will keep on adding to the log file. For instance, tomorrow you install Ansible. Ansible has a log file. Whatever Ansible is doing, everything it will put it in that log file. So that file will be huge. Uh, so what I'm saying now is that you are in a directory, right? You want to move from one directory to the other directory. For instance, if I have to put it here, you are in a directory. You want to move from this directory, let's say, to boot directory. Okay. So to change the directory, the command is cd. Where you want to go, give the full path to the directory. Which directory you want to go? Boot. Where is boot there? You should start it from this origin that is here. So from one directory you want to go to the other directory. One way is give the whole path, or else one other way is you are in root, right? Here you say cd dot dot. Cd dot dot means you are telling change directory to the parent directory. What is the parent directory of this? This. You are here. Now from here you want to go to boot, you can just say cd boot because you are already there in the root directory, right? Right. So one way is you want to travel, just go back here and from there you go it, or else directly from one place to other place you can go using the full path. So I want to go to a path called where directory. Okay. So I'll say go to where. I'll do ls. Okay. Lot of directories are there. In this, there is a directory called log. Okay. Here, there are a lot of files are there. These are log files which you will see as we go ahead. One such file is there is a messages file. This is the file what lot of Linux administrators see. So anytime any activity is happening on your system, everything will get added to this messages file. It's a log file. Okay. It will keep on growing. If you want to see the log files, I will not suggest you to use more also. The reason is for now it's okay because this is a new system. You see, it will be a huge files, guys. Sometimes you will see a file which is there from last 1 week. All the unnecessary stuff also it will show. While viewing log files, generally we use log files for troubleshooting. When you want to see the log files, rather than using more command or a cat command to see the log file, there is a command called tail. I'll say tail messages. What this tail command does is it will just show me the last 10 lines. And that is good for me to see what the latest activity has happened. If you say Ravi, not last 10, I want to see the last 15 lines of the file, then you can say -n, show me the 15 files. You see this? 15. But generally, what is the other thing people do is this file, they want to keep it open and keep seeing what is happening. So they'll use an option called F. What F does is, as the activity is happening on this file, it keeps open. See, this is open now. You see that? Anything coming, they'll just keep seeing, okay, what activity is coming. So be very, very cautious, guys. When you are seeing the log files, don't use VI and more and other things. Use the tail command. This is what is very useful, especially for log files, or in fact, mainly for log files. Okay. See, there are you might come across some cases where you know, and anytime any file or anything you want to come out, you can say Control C. Okay. I'll go back to my root directly. Okay. I'm here. I want to create a file, and I want to create an empty file. It means I just want to create a file. I don't want to put any content into it. Then I can use a command called touch. Okay. I'll say touch, let's say file one. What it has done now is it has created the file, but it didn't really ask us to put any data into it. You can put it later. If any file you create with dot, it is called a hidden file in Linux. Any file name starting with dot is a hidden file name. Now, I told going forward ls every time we'll use ls-ltr. Do you see the file 2 here, guys? You see? File 2, is it able to view? No. By default, ls command will not show you the hidden files. You want to see hidden files also, you have to add one more option called A. A will show even hidden files. So general my habit is I type it like this, LATR. So only one command you practice in ls, that is ls. Anytime you want to type ls, just type ls-latr. Okay, don't waste time again reading all that. Now you see this. Is it showing my hidden file? It is. So you want to create an empty file, you can use touch. You want to see even the hidden files, you can use -latr, right? So practice VI, uh, more command, once see the tail command, pwd command, cd command, touch command. Okay. One other thing I'll show you. Okay. See, in Linux, I have a file with name file1, right? You want to rename file1 to, let's say, file100. So there is no command called rename. Whenever you want to rename, it could be Linux, Unix, all this works in any Unix one also. The command is move. So you want to change the name, you will say what name I want to change it to 100. Move. Move will rename the file. All right. Now you tell me, no, Ravi, not moving. I want to copy it. Moving means you are changing the name of the file. You are telling, no, no, I have a file called Ravi, right? I have a file called Ravi. I want to copy and create one more file with name XYZ. You want to copy, you'll say copy Ravi XYZ. So this file is now copied in as XYXZ. You see this now? See this now? So two things I want you to guys to little quick check. One is a move command, one is a copy command. So whenever I want to copy something, I'll use CP. Whenever I want to rename something, I'll use move command. Okay. Uh, Copy, move. Okay. Um, yeah, I think you know maybe for today I'll stop it here. Tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll speak about user administration, how you have to create users. I'll speak about file permissions. I will speak about package installations. Okay, that will be tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, we will see how to set up maybe one web server. We'll see, and I'll speak about something called SSH and other things that happen. That is on Friday. After that, whatever diagram we gave for the application, right? I'll make you guys do the whole diagram. Okay. And Linux, don't worry much, guys, because till end I'll keep using it. So whenever I come across a situation, you will see me using the commands, and those commands are what generally people use it. You don't need anything additional. Okay. So remove the fear factor in case you have about Linux. Just take it easy. It should be just seamless, right? You want to work, okay, ls cp move like that. You should type it off. You should not think much. All right. Okay. I think I'll not put too many things for today. I think we are good here. Any questions you have for today?
Yeah,
Yes, Ravi.
so
Yeah.
yeah, you told if you want to copy single line, we can use YY, right? What if we want to copy whole content from that terminal?
If if you want to copy the whole file, you better use cp command and copy it into another file. But maybe what you wanted to ask is, if I want to copy more than one line, then what?
Mhm. Mm.
In that case, you can use a number. Let's say you want to copy 10 lines, you will say 10 YY.
Okay.
Okay. You want to copy 100 lines, you can say 100 YY. It will copy 100 lines. Uh, Simple guys, only this. Don't get too much, because as we keep doing, without you knowing, only your Linux knowledge will improve. So this one, right? You can put a number. How many number you want, you can use. Let's say 10 YY. It will copy 10 lines. From where your cursor is there. Always remember, from where your cursor is there, right?
So I have one question. Whatever we are doing in this putty, the commands and the
Uh-huh.
files which we are creating, these are all
Uh-huh.
saved in that VM, right?
It is like this. Actually, we have to work it here. It is, you are correct. It is, everything is saved here. See, actually, we have to work here, right? This is the VM where we are working. Correct.
Yeah.
So why I can log in directly here and work? It works. But what is the approach I'm taking? I'm taking a putty, and from here I'm connecting to this system, and whatever I'm doing, actually I'm working on the system, right?
Okay.
Why
Right.
did I take this approach right in the very first class? I should have told you, no, no, guys, play with graphically. Then what is the advantage I get is, you will find it very, very easy. Okay. But why did I take that approach? The reason right from beginning why I'm taking that putty is this. See, today I live in Hyderabad. Okay. I join a company, and I am in the company. Let's say this is my laptop or my desktop. Okay. My manager comes to me and he says that, Ravi, there is a Linux server there. I want you to do some stuff for me. Okay. And the Linux server is there in, let's say, somewhere in US, some data center in US, it is there. Then he tell me, Ravi, I want you to connect and do something for me. Then what I'll ask him, okay, what is the IP address of that? Let's say he says 10.1.1.1. Okay. I have to connect. Where is the VM there? It is there in US, right? I I can't here I am able to see the things graphically because I've installed it on my system. But what is the scenario here? The system is somewhere. We don't even know where it is. All that they have given me is the IP address. Then then how will you connect to the system? What everybody will do is, they will have a putty installed on their system. Using putty, this IP will be given, and you will connect to the system, and you'll work. That is what I have done. You see this? You see this? You see this guy? Making sense? That is why I tell you guys, always do it putty, because you will not be having any screen like this installed on your system where you log in, and all the graphical things will be there. That will not be there. Why would you install anything on your laptop or desktop, right?
Right.
Making sense?
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so I think we'll wind it up. uh, whoever are already comfortable with Linux, I think quite a few are there. Just bear me for one more day, and I think for today it's done. From tomorrow you'll find it extremely exciting, because I'll start showing some administrative stuff. And as I told you, line by line, whatever is there in the syllabus, I'll try to finish it off. Right, guys. There are two things. Please attend the classes. The reason is, a lot of times what happens is, because I am a kind of seen so many classes I have done. Right? See, attending lecture or a class, you can see the video also later, no problem. But what happens is it brings a certain amount of discipline, right? For instance, for me now, last probably I think 2 years or so, I would have never gotten up morning at 6 o'clock because I stopped doing trainings on the morning and I was just doing it on some other weekends and that time or little later in a day if I had to do it. But otherwise, previously, I used to be I used to do in the institute only. 7 o'clock the class used to be there. By 6 o'clock, I used to start at home. By 7, I'm there in institute, and for a trainer, it's always a great fun to do it in a classroom. So I used to do it, and one batch at 7 to 8, and one batch 8 to 9, and done. So it was very disciplined kind of stuff. The moment I stopped taking morning batches, my day, my it started. I started getting up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and according to that day. So the point I'm trying to make is, for a month or 2 months, just make sure that you make a strict this thing. Okay, class 7 o'clock, then maybe evening 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock for half an hour. I'll go. I'll just remember or try to revise what we have done it in the class, and it will give an amazing results, guys. I'm telling you, without you knowing, the time I keep doing it, your knowledge will automatically grow. You don't need to sit and read for 10 hours, 15 hours like that. DevOps, you should not do that approach also. Only whatever is done in the class, you do it. You are good to crack your interviews and do a very, very comfortable and a good job when you join any organization. Right? Anyways, I'm sure all of you know this, but that little bit of discipline bring in. All right, yes, I think nice today's session we had. We'll
Yeah.
meet tomorrow.
Yep. Thank you, Ravi sir, for today's
Yeah,
session.
sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Ravi.
Yeah, thanks, guys.